Shalom. It comes a point of time where people need to start really showing love and care to one another, not all this hatred that's going on. Right? We not gonna get up out the situation that we in right now unless we don't start first. You feel me? And a lot of that can be summed up, you know, and started with having compassion and showing love to one another, right? Because you look at compassion, even by its definition alone, right? It means to be sympathetic, right? To have pity and concern for the sufferings or misfortune of others, right? And some people have bad luck and things that go on and they just suffer in their life. Sometimes you gotta, have some kind of concern for what they're doing or what they're going through, I should say. Because there's a lot of people out here that's going through a lot of things, right? You might be good, but the person you with might not be good, right? And there go and that's your opportunity right there to show a little compassion, right? As I say, that's your time to shine, right? Especially if you in this truth, if you in this walk, and you so consider yourself, a person of God, a person that's keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, right? Showing compassion, right? And the book of Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, the 3rd verse, it says, then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whether the Lord thy God have scattered thee. Because we went off. So it's at this time that the Lord is going to turn, right, our captivity around. And he's going to have compassion on us, right? He's going to feel sorry for what we're going through, right? For our sufferings, for our misfortune, all of our own doing, right? But he's going to do that for us, right? Even when you go into Matthew, the 15th chapter, right? It talks about Christ having compassion when he fed over 4,000 people, right? Not including the women and children, because they were out there for 3 days, right? Right in front. Let me get that. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 15, and I'm gonna start from verse 32. I'm gonna read it in the NLT. Then Jesus called his disciples and told them, I feel sorry for these people, right? If you read it in the KJV, it said, then Jesus called his disciples unto him and said, I have compassion on the multitude, because they continue with me now 3 days and have nothing to eat, and I will not send them away fasting, lest they faint in the way, right? That's the rendering of the KJV, right? Back to the NLT from verse 33 on down. The disciples replied, where would we get enough food here in the wilderness for such a huge crowd? Jesus asked, how much bread do you have? They replied, 7 loaves and a few small fish. So Jesus told all the people to sit down on the ground. Then he took the 7 loaves and the fish, thanked God for them, and broke them into pieces. He gave them to the disciples, who distributed the food to the crowd. They all ate as much as they wanted. Afterward, the disciples picked up 7 large baskets of leftover food. There were 4,000 men who were fed that day, in addition to all the women and children. Right? And then Jesus sent the people home, and he got into a boat and crossed over the region of Magadan. Right? Show compassion. So we had compassion on these people, right? When you read in the book of Romans, the 9th chapter, 15th verse, for he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So God will show mercy to the ones he want to show mercy to, and he will have compassion on the ones he will have compassion on. That's what we need to do. We need to exercise a lot more love and a lot more compassion for people in their situations that they're going through. All right. So with that, I'd like to say, shalom.